So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer you guys put together for the book.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. We'll start right now. Oh, and
All right.
for those of you who are curious, I'm actually running this entire stream by myself, and I'll give you a little look here of how this looks. So you can see I've got the set up. Everything is peripheral around me. I've got the background, and I've got the TriCaster over here, and the computer that I'm talking to Craig here, and I can do all the switching and everything on the keyboard. So there is actually nobody else in the room right now, which is pretty cool. It's that we could do that today with this kind of technology. It's also a little bit nerve-wracking, and if you see me looking down and stuff, it's because I'm doing the switching at the same time. So anyway, now let's take a look at the trailer for the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac. So that's pretty cool, and I hear that the book is doing really well. Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, it was in pre-order, I think, for about 6 months, and they were getting lots and lots of pre-orders. In fact, there were so many that people weren't supposed to receive them until it was released on January 1st. But Amazon decided to fulfill all of those fulfillments and actually mailed them out, and people got them right before Christmas. Everybody was emailing me and telling me how excited they were, and it maintained all of January. It maintained being the #1 new release in UFOs. It was also in ancient knowledge, and I think astrophysics and something else. And in some cases, it would be #1, 2, and 3, like #1 in paperback, #2 in Audible, #3 in Kindle. So it was very exciting to see that the book was really taken off, and we just found out that Italy just bought the translation rights. So now Italy is going to have their own version of the book in Italian, and the publisher will still go and try and get it into other countries as well for those speaking people. So I think that's really exciting, and I'm just excited to see they're already in their second printing of the book. They've sold so many, and Amazon ran out of books. They had to order a bunch more from the publisher.
That's a really good story. It's good to see that the book is doing as well as it is. So congratulations. And
Thank
I
you
know
so
that
much.
people are here watching this because we promised a little information about some of the aliens in the book. So without further ado, let's start.
Yeah,
We've got the Cetus
sure.
Zeta is our first guy.
All right. So Zeta Zeta, these are really beautiful, benevolent beings. They enjoy the arts. They enjoy laughter and joy. Part of their whole makeup is to make happiness a priority in your lives. Now, they're about 3 to 3.5 feet tall. Their arms are quite long. They reach below their non-existent knee. They don't have a knee. And they have three lengthy fingers and a thumb. They are telepathic. And what's interesting with these fully conscious telepathic beings, which are very ingrained into spirituality and connection to source and connection to the universe and in connection to all other beings, is when they are telepathic with another telepathic person or a person who might not be telepathic, they actually share their feeling body with you. So when they're telling you the story, you're actually feeling it as if they felt it. And they grew some way, shape, or form spiritually from that experience. And you are experiencing that as well. So you're growing from it too. So these are really interesting notations. And a lot of contactees that have had great experiences, they also feel that when they looked at them through their eyes, that they could go into their whole soul history. It was an unspoken thing, but it really just made them feel like they knew who they were and that there are no secrets when you become a fully conscious being, which I think is really quite beautiful. Now, a lot of times they have the big eyes. A lot of the good grays, bad grays have those big eyes. All of them are different in the sense of some of them have a nictating lens, some of them have two nictating lenses. One is clear for wiping, and one is like a sunglass, like we would wear sunglasses that comes down over the eyes. Or the race, if they don't have that, will sew these sort of breathing sunglasses in. Most of them do have giant pupils and irises, and they're very sensitive to light. So that's why it always is looking like they have these black eyes, which can be menacing to some people. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. Who do we got there, Ron?
Well, I wanted to mention those guys look a lot like the traditional grays, and that's associated with the species that people might be afraid of. So it's really interesting to hear that
Right.
they are cultured and emotional, and because you don't really
Yes.
associate that with that image.
Yes, and remember that when we look at each other and we're having a conversation and we can get very animated and we can get very excited, that we are emoting um, our emotions, but beings like Cetus, you're not going to see that emotion on the face. You're going to feel it from within. That's the same with mantis beings as well. Because when you look at them, they can be quite terrifying. They're quite large, and they have those stranger eyes than what we're used to seeing because we see them on the little mantises that are here on the planet. And but if you're able to connect with them telepathically and inwardly, you will feel that they do have emotions. They're just different. They're on the inside and they're not being exhumed on the exterior.
So next, we're going to take a look at the short, tall grays.
All right. So here we go. Here's the bad guys. Uh, all right. So all these different sets of grays that are doing abductions and different things, they are all shapes and sizes. There are so many different ones that are around. Some of them can even be like 2.5 feet up to 3 feet. Here I covered the short grays that are anywhere from 4 to 5 feet, the tall grays that are 6 to 8.5 feet, and then there's taller grays that can be 9 to 12 feet, and then there are some that are even taller. I tried to give a little cross range of what some look like. That's the taller grays that's being shown in the picture here. So what's the difference between these beings, because they're doing abductions that are against people's will, right? So there are other races. Um, it kind of gets into a whole nother area that would take a very long time to explain. So I'm going to just try and condense it. Uh, but if a positive race comes here and is looking for genetic materials, they will usually contact someone who is of their lineage, who is incarnated on the planet. And if they agree to it, then they're able to extract it. Now, the bad one, the renegades, as we call them, what they do is they just take you, they just rape you for your genetic materials for their own purposes.